In this video, we talk about supply-side economics. So before we begin to understand supply-side policies and supply-side economics, let's understand the basic motivation behind this idea. So let's begin with our classic economy. You have GDP on horizontal axis, price on vertical axis. The aggregate demand curve slopes downward as usual, and aggregate supply curve slopes upward. And the intersection of the two is where the economy will be standing in an equilibrium. So at equilibrium E0, the GDP of the country or the economy will be Y star, and P star will be the equilibrium level of price level at E0. If you use any fiscal policy measures or monetary policy measures, which are both trying to increase the amount of aggregate demand, or to be precise, manage the amount of aggregate demand, in this case, increase in aggregate demand, the economy, as a result of such aggregate demand management policies, the equilibrium will move from E0 to E1. As a result, the GDP goes up because of this policy action, and the price level also goes up. So GDP going up would mean that more jobs are being created because of such demand management policies, which is perfectly what the policy maker wants. You want to create more jobs. However, there will be higher levels of prices. So if you use the demand management policies, this is one of the flip side to that policy. As compared to that, let's understand how supply side economics work or supply side policies work. So you have GDP on horizontal axis, price on vertical axis, a downward sloping demand curve, and upward sloping supply curve. And at E0, equilibrium level of E0, we have Y star as equilibrium level of GDP and P star as equilibrium level of prices. So the basic idea of supply side policies is to undertake certain policy actions, fiscal policy typically, in order to increase the level of aggregate supply. And when you talk about using such policies of increasing the aggregate supply, we are basically talking to shift the aggregate supply curve to the right. When we shift the aggregate supply curve to the right, the economy moves from equilibrium level of E0 to equilibrium level of E1. And at E1, Y double star is the equilibrium level of GDP, and P double star is the equilibrium level of prices. So what the economy witnesses is, because of such a policy action, the aggregate supply curve shifts to the right, and GDP goes up, which means more jobs are being created, very similar to what we have on the demand management policies. However, if you look at the vertical axis, the price level goes down. So this is the main idea behind supply side policies, is to use a policy action in order to create more jobs and have lower price level as compared to demand management policies, which creates more jobs but at the cost of higher price level.